Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Well, Dinesh Lalvani, through his company, Euryka AI, has created a platform which helps organisations to streamline the management of their marketing. Recognising the growth potential of the solution, Euryka AI is now looking to raise €5 million in its next funding round. Dinesh joins us on the phone now to tell us about the functionalities of his new solution. But Dinesh, before we discuss Euryka AI, I'd like to get an insight into your own background.
Morning, Carl. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. Okay, so marketing and creative has been basically my entire life. I've been in this space since the late 90s in multiple startups, and in the digital marketing realm, I ran one of the largest digital agencies in the Middle East called Flip Media, which started from a two-man operation to a 200-man operation and then got successfully acquired by the Publicis Group. So I kind of acutely know this space very well and the pain points. So that's my background. And that's all the work I've done so far has led me now towards Euryka as well.
And before we discuss Euryka, talk to us about Flip, because that was highly successful. So what was the strategy that got them from a two-man operation to a 200-person operation?
Well, it was the what I call the noughties, and digital media was still very much in its infancy, the way AI is right now. And we were one of the first few pure-play digital agencies in that part of the world, in Dubai. And clients were slowly coming to grips with having, initially they used to have Hotmail addresses, then they started having websites, and we were the first websites for them. And then from that, then they needed digital marketing strategies, advertising, direct advertising, digital ads. And we started building and growing with our clients' demands of leveraging digital marketing into all their PR and communications and marketing plans. So Flip basically grew on the back of the growth of digital marketing as a whole.
So how did you identify that an opportunity existed for a company like Euryka AI?
So for the last 3 years, with the advent of AI and being a developer program since I was 12, and I had early access to GPT in its playground. And even then, my mind was completely blown with what was possible with AI in its early days. And being in the creative space, I was not just dealing with one modality. I was dealing with in text and video and voice, music, and I was using whether it was GPT or Midjourney or Stable Diffusion, Runway ML, and there's so many of these disparate AI tools that were coming on. And before I realized it, I was spending about $400 to $500 a month on subscriptions. And I realized very quickly they were just nice, shiny AI toys. They weren't providing me the actual final from a real world business case. And that's when the penny dropped. I had my Eureka moment. And I said, why not unify all of these disparate AI tools all into one unified, seamless, intuitive platform, but make it collaborative and make it contextually relevant. That was the key focus for me to build that. And I felt that if I had those pain points, I'm sure everybody in this particular industry would also be dealing with this fairly soon.
Okay, so talk to us about the solution now. What is it able to do for businesses?
What our core mission is basically to build Euryka as an all-in-one AI platform specifically for marketing creative teams. So vision is very simple but powerful to unify the best AI models that are out there, whether it's all these different modalities, whether it's content creation, image generation, music, video, but make it collaborative. So on our platform, when people come in, we always make sure that we talk about something that we call the single source of truth. So you define your brand context, your project context, all in one place. Bring in your colleagues and that you collaborate with at that project level, and then use AI tools that we bring in all together, and then you can unify those and collaborate with the team to work on specific project-related contexts, and it remembers that on an ongoing basis across all these different modalities.
Okay, so what is it able to do then once it has that information?
You know, when we put the entire marketing realm in, like I call it in the 5 pillars, which is ideation, creation, planning, distribution, measurements. So with all of those tools in place, we address all those features. You can then take all this context that you've created, and then whether it's in GPT, for example, you want to chat, but then you can chat with your context, with your colleagues in the same thread together and ideate. So you're bringing in all that knowledge in one place, but making it accessible for all. So it's aligning them. And then let's say you want to create content at scale. So we have our doc system, and as all these what we call sparks, where you're starting off with whether you want to create a blog post or a case study, a creative brief, or a statement of work, a business quote. Everything is there. You just click a couple of buttons and the document's ready for you with your context in mind, your content. And that's just a couple of modalities, but we do that with images, we do that with video, we do that with voice.
Talk to us about the number of systems that are involved in this.
We've got quite a few. So one of our jobs as Eureka is we take the best breeds of all the best AI platforms that are there. So currently, when it comes to, let's say, just on the content modality, we have obviously GPT, we have Anthropic's Claude, we have Gemini, we have DeepSeek, we have Mistral, Grok, and also all their reasoning models as well. And we've also built our own research model called Eureka Deep Research, which orchestrates across all these models. So you can use that for referencing and research as well. And that's just on text. When it comes to video, with images, we have Ideogram and DALI and Flux and Stable Diffusion. And with video, we have Runway ML and Luma and Kling. So already we have incorporated about 25, 30 different models into our platform. And then underneath all of those, so we're not just bringing in all these models and putting in one place, but we also have our own model that runs underneath it that's called the Eureka Hive Mind that allows for this interoperability to happen seamlessly. So even if you're having a conversation with, let's say, GPT, I can then switch midstream and take it to Claude or Gemini and switch it over, and still our Hive Mind model will keep the context alive, the conversation alive. So that way you don't have model bias, and you can actually get the right output that you're looking for.
What about when it comes to social media marketing? Is the system able to engage in AI-driven scheduling?
This is something on our roadmap for our planning tool. Obviously, we don't have all these features with the startup, so we're hitting all these kind of key points. So we will be connecting it to third-party tools with integrations with HubSpot, for example, or Make.com or Zapier, and then that will allow for that next step to happen, and that's on our roadmap.
What about when it comes to email marketing?
Very similar. We have something called Eureka Docs that creates, we have Sparks, which are related specifically for email marketing that will help you create all the content and images and documents code for that. And then, like I said, with each of these, everyone has their preferred email marketing solution, whether it's MailChimp or MailerLite, then you'd have to do that last step integration.
Whilst Google is still very, very popular, it only holds now about 20% of the search market. With people's trends moving into searching within Instagram and on TikTok and everywhere else, people are concerned in business now that how relevant is it going to be from a business development perspective going forward? And they feel that maybe even at the moment they're over-reliant on Google from a search engine optimization perspective and a Google Ads perspective. And they're now starting to think about how can I be recommended on these large language models like Gemini and ChatGPT. So how is this solution assisting in that respect?
Well, one of the things I kind of like with AI and what it's doing, it's kind of leveled the playing field. For the longest time, for the last 10 years, Google kind of held sway with search engine optimization marketing, create a whole industry on this. Don't get me wrong, it's good to have that. But one of the things that's come out of AI with us having less reliance on just gaming the SEO is now companies need to have a full 360-degree integrated marketing strategy. It can't just be reliant only on search and social. And tools like ours think along all these different mediums that you have to connect with. So it's an overall strategy. So we don't have a magic bullet just for SEO because, yes, search traffic is going to drop, especially with AI. But I think companies will have to have a much more balanced view, which they did before SEO, and have a marketing strategy that addresses search, social, display, outdoors, etc., print. Everything now plays a part.
What advice have you got for business owners listening this morning that want to have their businesses being recommended on these large language models?
Well, you still have to create authentic content, general content, and put that up. So it's very important to, not just for the search, like putting display ads in search, but you need to invest in your brand, in your website, in your communications. That's all important because all of these are also being ingested by these AI bots. So making sure that you have a thought leadership and content that is properly indexed in search is important. And also constantly making sure that you're always updating content to reflect your business. If you do that, then you'll automatically get the bots the bots are going to be ingesting this because the AI bots are crawling on a constant basis right now. I know from our own website how many times we're getting hit by them. So people are discovering us through those mediums as well.
And does the system allow users to be able to create, let's say, ad content for Google Ads and Facebook Ads?
Oh, yes, definitely. A lot of our customers already do that. And one of another kind of nice features of our platform is something we've got a module called characters and personas. So you can actually create a custom character that represents a particular target audience of your market or your cohort, and you can then create content with that target audience and much more personalized content for Google Ads, for Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, and then you can take that into those particular platforms.
Who is the target user for this platform?
Our target users are typically heads of marketing department, chief marketing officers, creative strategists, content creators, social media content creators, designers. So it cuts across, but everybody who's related to creating marketing and PR and communications related content.
And is it going to be aimed at SME type businesses or more multinationals?
We actually have a very wide range of customer base, from individual content creators all the way to large cap companies who have also just recently signed on.
And have you any case study examples that you can share with us to demonstrate the results that the platform can deliver?
One of our key clients is Mercer in the Middle East, and they use it in the entire marketing department. So they bring different people on a conversation, especially when they're doing event marketing, content marketing. They keep creating all these new campaigns on our platform. And then with that, they internally ideate and connect with each other and get the first stage of the process done, create the documentation and run. And they reduce their time and effort. What normally would take them days, if not weeks, they're able to do it in hours.
Is there any possibility that ChatGPT will be able to do all of this in 12 months' time?
Well, they're focused on the end user as a single user. So they are obviously advancing, and they have a lot of features that we also have. But their focus, like I said, is the large play. We are focused on creating the application layers for businesses that can use our platform, and they don't have to worry about only being stuck to one particular model and one buyer, and also making everything collaborative. That's very critical. So our focus is not working in silos, is working together as a team. So every piece of our platform has collaboration tools built in. And that's where our focus is. And also one of the things we also add on layers is we also have our built API layer. And one of our core parts of our business is our AI consultancy part, where Euryka might do 50 or 60% of what they need on a day-to-day basis, but each company has their own bespoke platforms, ERPs, project management tools, and they want to bridge the gap. They want to use the hive mind as their intelligence tool. So we are creating those last connectors, doing bespoke integration so we can pull that data in and let companies really leverage the power of AI.
And Euryka AI has been successful in securing €600,000 in funding to date. But over the next 12 to 18 months, you plan to raise a further €5 million for the business. Talk to us about these plans and how the funding will be used.
This company has been bootstrapped primarily by myself, and then we only recently closed that first round of what I call pre-seed funding to get us to the next stage of our development. We are adding more people onto our team. We opened up an office in Waterford. We've got now 6 people on the ground here. We've got another 6 overseas. Our focus market has been the EMEA market. And one of the reasons for going down in the next 12 to 18 months to raise the next Series A round is to basically grow out the team. We are in a very hyper high speed development sector, which is AI. So we need a lot more to come on board, data scientists, model engineers who can help enhance our hive mind system, build all these extra features that businesses will need, because we're on the early days of AI. We haven't even scratched the surface of what we can do when you bring that level of intelligence and automation and flows into a business. So we are going to be growing out the team, not only here locally, but also overseas, to help us, get more traction in these core markets that we're looking at.
And have you been engaging with the state agencies, including the local enterprise office, Propeller in Waterford, or indeed Enterprise Ireland?
Oh, no, this has been fantastic. From somebody who has not lived here before, I have to say it is really impressive what you have over here. And starting from the local enterprise office that gave us our first grant, that always helps, to Propeller helping us with our modeling exercise when we were getting ready to go towards Enterprise Ireland to become a high potential startup unit. And then also working with Enterprise Ireland themselves. We got onto their program towards the end of last year. And one of the great features I've been having and experiences is the fact that I have a deal advisor who's always as a sounding board. I can call him at any time, which is fantastic. And then also the Founders Forum, which I'm part of. I get a lot of one-on-one coaching. We have a nice core group. We can, it's lonely at the top when you're the CEO. It's nice to have other people who are in the same space, trade stories, get some help, and it's very helpful and emotionally helpful as well when you can talk to people in the same boat. And I think this is a fantastic kind of facility that people in Ireland have, and I'm just so happy to be part of it.
And in terms of international growth plans for the business, what's on your roadmap?
So one of the things we've been an international company from day dot, purely because of my wheelhouse and my expertise and network in the Middle East. I still go there every 6-8 weeks. So the Middle East and the GCC is always our core market, but we are now growing it into Europe, Middle East, Africa. Those are the key markets that we want to connect to. US customers come out organically. That's not our focus. I know it's a big market, but we decided to focus elsewhere where there's about 7 billion people on the other side of the world, and there's a lot more potential and opportunity over there. So that's where we are focused right now, and we'll go further out then into Asia Pac later.
And Dinesh, finally, as you own an AI business, what do you think the role of AI within organizations will look like over the coming years?
So that's a tough one. I think every business right now should have a AI policy in play. A lot of them are still doing what I call the wait and see game. I think it's very important that within a company they designate an AI champion, an ambassador, somebody who understands their business inside out, but also knows that where the efficiency gains can be taken and how they can improve the productivity using these great, powerful tools that we have, but within the context of their business. Not just using GPT and taking the answers, but actually leveraging the data, first-party data they have, their business challenges, their pain points, and then looking at very bespoke solutions to help them address those and make their organizations more nimble, more effective.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Dinesh Lalvani from Euryka AI, and it will be fascinating to witness this company's growth journey over the coming years.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.